Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your May 2022 mid-month general readings. We're looking at the last 2 weeks of May, and this reading is for the water sign of Scorpio. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for taking the time to be here, and always a note of gratitude for all of your likes, shares, subscribes, donations, feedback, comments. Those of you who reach out for personal readings, always welcome, always appreciated. Thank you. Okay, Scorpio, this reading is for you for the last 2 weeks of May 2022. That's if your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign is in Scorpio. It's relevant if you're cross-watching for Scorpio. It's a general reading, so of course it'll resonate a little differently for everyone. If you know all your signs, watch each of them, because sun, moon, rising, and Venus, because each one, of course, can bring in a little additional insight, a different perspective into what's going on in your life. And if you find that something does resonate with you enough that you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, maybe take a deeper look at something for yourself or as a gift for someone else. Personal readings make great gifts. Feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. You can also get that contact detail by clicking the description link, that little arrow. I'd be delighted to hear from you. And I can usually respond the same day with more information. I do offer quite a wide variety of readings in all the main areas of life. And I'm usually pretty timely about scheduling. So if you're interested, email me. Okay, Scorpio, let's see what the last 2 weeks of May have in store for you. I am using the Tarot of Dreams, clarifying with the Gilded Tarot Royale. Okay, Scorpio, we begin with some news, conversation. Knight of Swords, Knight of Air. Kind of the mailman of the tarot. He brings information and talks about it, discusses it while he's kind of running around manifesting things with it. With death, endings, final endings. So rebirth can occur, utter transformations of things. Next we have the Ten of Wands. Tens in the tarot, signaling the end of a cycle, or a cycle coming full circle. This one looks like you've been carrying a load for quite some time at the end of the rope. Can't bear up underneath this strain anymore, have to let it go. Surrendering to the fact that you can't carry it anymore, which makes sense because death is a major, major ending card. Complete transformations. Ten of Wands, I can't, I'm letting this go, I'm letting it go. Ten of Wands is with the Nine of Coins, perhaps better off on your own. The Nine of Coins is independence, self-sufficiency, self-empowerment. It's sometimes referenced as the happy, single, successful female card. Doesn't matter if you're female, could be male. Doesn't matter if you're signal, you could be attached. But this is a card that represents somebody who's worked really hard to get to a place where they're not really dependent on other people. They can take care of themselves well. They're enjoying that. They're full of the kind of empowerment that comes with self-confidence, that kind of empowerment and self-confidence that comes from having worked hard enough to get yourself to a place where you're not having to depend on other people. You can rely on yourself. Next, we have the sun, which is exactly what we want to see after surrendering to a painful ending, right? The sun comes out. Illumination, love, warmth, light, seeing things clearly, an uplifting of all this heavy, restrictive, dark, negative energy. And the sun is the most influential card in the tarot in terms of its positivity. So just like when the real sun comes out, it affects and touches everything and illuminates and clarifies and banishes shadows, automatically makes people feel better. Life, love, warmth, healing, growth. So too does the sun card when it comes out in a spread. It affects and touches all of the cards in a tarot spread. It acts as a booster to all the positive cards, and it can lessen any challenging or negative energy as well. With the Four of Wands, happy home, well-being, marriage, social events around friends and family, home stability, the area of life that deals with home, family, happiness, celebrations, all of that. Sun and the Four of Wands, that's absolutely fantastic. But there's a surrendering that comes before that, and the surrendering might be difficult. I mean, death and the Ten of Wands, that's an ending, and the ending might be difficult. But that's where the pressure, the thing that you've been carrying around, whatever this Ten of Wands is, whatever this burden represents, I mean, it's a general reading, so it's going to mean different things to different people. But the fundamental energy remains the same. Whatever has you feeling this way, has been burdened, or perhaps even someone close to you, once that is let go of, surrendered to, that's when the Sun and the Four of Wands comes out. From the bottom of the deck, representing overall energy, is the Eight of Swords. Overall energy and focus for the last 2 weeks of May is the Eight of Swords, which represents feeling trapped, held hostage, bound by your ideas, your ideology, or some kind of perspective. Because swords, the suit of swords, is governed by the element of air, which governs our intellectual landscape. Everything that goes on in here, right? Belief systems, ideologies, perceptions, perspectives, how we look at things, because that affects how we relate and communicate with everything outside of ourselves. So this person feels like they're trapped because of an idea or ideology or a set of them. And while it may be difficult, they can remove themselves from a situation. The Eight of Swords is a card that says you can't, leave this unhappy job because you won't find one that pays as well, or you're not educated enough to get a better paying job. Might be true. You can go out and get education or training so that you can get a better paying job. You can leave a codependent relationship by working on making yourself more independent so that you can make that decision to leave. I mean, there's always a way. Here, this is kind of like your fears, or the thing that, again, whatever this Ten of Wands, whatever this burden is telling you, oh, you can't leave, you can't lay this burden down because it'll hurt, because you'll have nothing, because your life will be over, because, all the things, those negative messages, right? So that's kind of the focus, overriding and overcoming those in the last 2 weeks of May, Scorpio, because once that is surrendered to, once there is a surrendering here, for most of you, I read it as incoming first. For most of you, this is about you surrendering to an ending, which may be difficult. Of course, it's a general reading, so that's going to vary in intensity, right? The Sun makes it a lot easier, though. It may, for some of you, be somebody close to you. But that Sun and the Four of Wands happens after this surrendering. So let's clarify that Eight of Swords as overall energy. Feeling trapped, bound, held hostage by something. The Two of Pentacles, a choice. There's a choice in front of you to make, probably to let something go or not let it go. The King of Wands, perhaps about a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, male or female, because this is a general reading, or somebody who has a significant influence in this situation. The Tower, letting it all come down, crumbling. There's a choice in here, and the choice may be about how you deal with an ending or choosing the ending itself, because there obviously has to be one here. I see a conversation about, I see a conversation where somebody says, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this way anymore. I just can't do it. So there's a decision here, a decision to surrender and let go of something and to move into something truly beautiful. But often we can't see that truly beautiful thing before we've made that decision and seen the outcome. All we can see and feel is our fears and the emptiness that we think the decision will bring us, when in fact there's beauty, joy, and abundance on the other side of that. But we have to get to the other side of it to get there, to have that, right? Which means a choice made in faith. But any choice that you make for the greater good, for your health and well-being, for something that is truly healthy, meaning balanced, which is what Spirit formed the universe of, in balance, is always going to be supported on the other side of whatever recovery and healing process there is. Let's clarify this Knight of Swords and Death. A lot of similar energies with the signs so far for the mid-months, which I often find this cycle in the spring readings, the lead up to spring and the spring readings, because spring is a time traditionally of both within ourselves and in the world and in nature. It's a time of renewal and rebirth, but that means that there's death and things breaking out of shells and cycles being broken in order for that rebirth and renewal to happen. So this is kind of an energy cycle I see often around this time of year in the readings. Clarify Knight of Swords and Death. The Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. That's looking at multiple different options and opportunities and kind of daydreaming about the potential for true long-term stability and security, which probably with the person, place, or thing that you've been involved with or is in a situation with, there's been the illusion or the promise of that, but it's not really been real. The Ten of Swords, surrendering to a painful ending. The Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands are the two really challenging tens because they represent a cycle coming to an end that's difficult. I mean, the worst is behind you, but it hasn't been easy. I mean, that's, you know, it's a painful ending. You can feel betrayed, exploited, thrown under the bus. You can feel like the future is kind of a bleak landscape. That's kind of how some endings are. It's not true. I mean, it might feel that way for a time, but as long as you're doing what you need to be doing and focused on moving in a better and healthy direction, after the healing and even through the healing, there's such joy and abundance. Clarify Ten of Wands. Heavy burden ending, surrendering to that. Independence, self-sufficiency. Ten of Wands. The Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is about the balance of giving and receiving. It can sometimes just simply represent the giving and receiving of a gift, but it's often looked at as the breadcrumb card because it says pay attention to the balance of giving and receiving. This man, his clothes have that sheen of silk. He's obviously wealthy. He's got enough. He's weighing out all of his wealth, his fortune, his whatever, right? And he's periodically throwing a few pentacles out the window to these waiting, grasping hands. But he has a lot to give. He's only giving a little, number one. Number two, they're only represented as hands, not even actual human beings. He's not even looking at them. It's kind of like the equivalent of walking past a person who's, you know, panhandling or asking for something, and you might toss a quarter in a can, but you don't really look at him or acknowledge him, right? So, you know, breadcrumbing. You're tired of that. You don't need to do that. You either have the ability to take care of yourself, or you definitely have what it takes to get to the place where you can take care of yourself. You don't need to be breadcrumbed anymore. You're sick of it. Whatever this is, whether it's in a relationship, it might be a relationship, a personal relationship. It might be to do with job or career path, because there are some number of pentacles here. Could be a combination of both. Clarify the Nine of Coins, the Nine of Pentacles, independence, self-confidence, self-empowerment. The World and the Fool. Yeah, this is taking a chance that you're going to be better off on your own. Spirit's going to bring you exactly what you need. You're going to step off the beaten path with the Fool into the unknown and trust that that is, in fact, the best decision for you. And look, it is. I mean, look what happens after you do that. And maybe not all within a 2-week period of time, but likely in the very near future, because, I mean, the last two cards are the Sun and the Four of Wands after all of this challenging energy. But it's all about facing the truth of that, surrendering to the truth of that ending, that giving up on something, which, because this positive energy begins so soon, this isn't a new truth. This is a truth which has been there the whole time, Scorpio. It's just you didn't want to see it. The other person maybe didn't want to see it, and I get it. We've all been there at least once, right? Let's just, even though you don't need to, because the Sun and the Four of Wands, happy home, uplifting energy are so beautiful. Let's clarify them anyway, see what Spirit gives us. This is on the other side of this, surrendering, letting go, peace and healing, this awful pressure being uplifted from you. My goodness. The Wheel of Fortune, divine timing and orchestration, a stroke of good luck, of good fortune. The Sun again, life, love, warmth, laughter, that pressure being lifted up. The Four of Wands again, clarifying the Four of Wands, a happy home. Love those repeating cards. Happy homes, celebrations, weddings, stability. King of Pentacles. Did Cancer get this too? It might be with a fire sign, or earth sign. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or somebody who has a significant positive influence in this. Beautiful, beautiful reading. It comes on the other side, remember, of that surrender. Any final messages, guidance, advice for Scorpio? Strength. Face your fears, your doubts, your insecurities. Walk into your fear, acknowledging them, embracing them, changing what you can, and moving through it. Taming that. It takes strength, courage, wisdom, and true humility, and that's also what you gain more of. The Three of Swords, yep, there might be pain, separation, breakups, disappointment. But on the other side of that, we have new beginnings. The Ace of Wands, passion, desire, excitement, enthusiasm. The Ace of Swords, the light bulb going off, epiphany, success from making a right decision to create a healthier reality in life for yourself. The Star, which in the tarot comes after the Tower. After everything crumbles down, the Star comes out to light the way, to renew and restore hope, faith, and optimism. Beautiful, profound reading. I think I'll just leave it there. Okay, Scorpio. Those are your messages for the last 2 weeks of May. Hope you enjoyed them, found them useful, helpful, validated what you're already thinking, perhaps, for some of you. Again, if any of this resonates enough that you'd like to maybe take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else. Feel free to email me directly, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you and to work with you. You can also get that contact info by clicking the description link below. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the June, it's almost summertime, the June general readings. Stay safe and well. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.